Okay, so I'm gonna go over the process of hooking up a potentiometer to the board so that you can actually get some volume. So initially what is in that board is this fader right here, okay, and this is a linear, kind of like a line fader. It's like a volume. So if you look at these, you're going to see on the bottom here, there's 4 pins on one side, and then there's 2 pins on the other side, okay? So when it is soldered in, you're going to have your 2 pins. So the pin rundown is, there's 6 pins altogether. So you have, this is a pin number 2, pin number 1, pin number 1, pin number 2, pin number 3 down here, and 3 down here, and like I said, those are your grounds. So if you're looking at the board, okay, on the bottom, your ones are on the inside, so this is 2 outside, 2 outside, inside 1, inside 1. Down here is where your ground is going to be. This is ground, this is also ground here. I don't know why I'm turning my phone, but anyway. So the way that you're going to wire this up to a potentiometer is you're going to need a 6-pin potentiometer, and this is a 5K pin. It's a linear potentiometer. So if you look at this, okay, so you have 1 pin, 2 pin, 3 pin, okay, underneath 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3. So basically this is just 2 potentiometers kind of put together. And so the way that you set this up, if you want to turn it up, you know, turn it to the right to turn it up, what you're going to do is you're going to make this outside pin here your ground. The 2 pin here, that's your output, and this pin here, your 3 pin, is your input. So input to output, and that's your ground. Okay, so the only wire that I found that actually worked was this 20 gauge shielded wire. And the reason why I decided to use this is because I tried a few other wires, and what happened, I was getting a lot of outside interference, outside noise, a lot of grounding problems, and it just did not sound good at all. So I decided to try some shielded wire, and that basically did the trick for me. It actually worked really well. So let's take a look here at the potentiometer. And you can see I have it set up this way. So right now, if you're looking at the pins from the back, that's going to be your 3 pin. Your 2 pin is in the middle, and your 1 pin is here to the left. Okay, so you're going to run those 3 wires here, and then those wires are going to come around, and then once again you're going to run them to the actual contacts here. So 2 on the outside, 1, 1, 2. These are your grounds right here, and these you're actually going to run to either here, here, or here. All of this is your ground or your negative here, so you can actually connect to any of those, and that's what I'm going to do here. I'm actually going to rewire or resolder these, and then I'm going to connect them directly to the ground, probably here, so the wire's not too long. But anyway, the other thing that you'll want to do with these potentiometers is you need to ground out the chassis. Okay, so what you'll want to do is you'll want to what I did was I basically took my Dremel tool and I kind of roughed up the casing here and down here on the side, here, down here on the side, so that when I did ground it out with the solder, the actual solder would grab, and you can actually see here on the potentiometer where I have it actually here on the actual tab, and then I'm kind of running it along the edge on the sides as well. So that's actually grounding this out even better. And what I did was I took a piece of wire kind of like this, just a thin, thin piece of wire, okay? And you can see these holes right here. Okay, so that would be what I did was I just ran it through the hole, like this. Alright, and oh, there's solder right there, sorry, I won't go in. So run it through, and there's solder on that one. Hold on a sec. Let me get the solder off of here. Okay, sorry about that. So you're gonna run the wire through the two holes like this, and then you're just gonna bend it up like that so that it's touching these two contacts here, okay? And then from there you're going to bend that down, and then that'll be touching this pin. Run a little bit of solder in here, run some solder in here so that it holds, and then some solder on the two contacts here on the chassis, and that's going to ground out the potentiometer, so that'll actually make it a lot quieter when you're turning it up and down. Okay, so yeah, make sure it's a 5K potentiometer. Other than that, I did end up mounting it where, you know, the springs are typically here for the D batteries, and I cut those off with the Dremel tool, and I'm kind of mounting the potentiometer right here inside. Drilled it out with the 5/16 drill bit, and then I put a couple of, because it was standing a little high, so what I did was I actually took a couple of washers like this, and I put 2 washers over the top like that, so that it would make a little bit of a gap so that this wasn't sticking out too high on the top, you know, so the tone arm can fit, you know, move freely over the volume. But anyway, that's pretty much how you're gonna hook that up. I need to wire these grounds up here, but yeah, that's how the potentiometer gets, or that's how, at least how I hooked up the potentiometer to get it to work. So once again, you need to desolder this from the board from the top. You know, use some desoldering wick, or you can use a solder pump, desoldering pump, or if you have a desoldering vacuum, that's even better. I still need to get one of those, but you know, you could use something like this, or you can use some desoldering wick like this to pull these out, you know, effortlessly. So anyway, hopefully that helps you guys out if you decide to tackle this, because it is quite a process. But I figure, like I said, I wanted to document it and you know, make videos so people can kind of follow along. So I'm going to end it for now, and then I'm going to hook up these grounds here to the ground here. So alright, I'll keep you guys posted. Peace.